Okay. Let's see. We have things everywhere. Christ. We'll go to the Aldil docks. Still the very beginning where you wake up. Okay. Spoilers. Oh yeah, this part. Gotta walk behind us. Yeah, weekend was good. We didn't do too much. We're just messing with the camera. I know there's too many colors. I gotta dial in some of my filter stuff. It's a little all over the place.
Ready, go?
Okay, wanna go this way? It became more noticeable once I stood up. Looks amazing though. Good one, Bark.
They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste, lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
Right.
You're welcome to try.
Again, I killed essentially a mountain. So see how that goes for you. Any change in my opinion of the game? No. I mean, I'm still having a good time with it. I think that I think there's too many side quests. That's I don't like that statement. I'm gonna take that back. It's not that there's too many. This is one of those games that I think would be really hard to ignore side quests because they're gonna stay on your map. You son of a bitch. So therefore, it's like, I know they're optional, and I set out to do all the side quests in the beginning of the game, but even if I hadn't done that, I think I'd be really annoyed by all of the side quests just living on my map screen, or living in my menus. Again, it comes down to the way that I'm playing the game, and I understand that. So, but I mean, story-wise, I'm having a great time. Too many uninteresting side quests? Yes, a lot of uninteresting side quests, and a lot of the spoils for doing side quests are pointless. You get some crafting materials, and crafting feels like it's just kind of tacked on and not really well thought out either, so.
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
It will definitely be in my top 10 of the... I can say that.
Ah.
I don't know if it'll be top 5. We'll see.
I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade?
But I'm still very high on it.
You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told you sooner.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible. Surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
Duplicitous. We're just gonna let her walk away. She's a slaver. Stab her through her heart.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial
Okay,
Court.
she'll get
see
what's
that
coming to her, I
justice is
guess.
done.
Right.
All right. If you're certain.
I am. And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
I don't think there's grinding in this game. I consider grinding.
Back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
I would classify grinding as leveling up without direction. You know, where yes, maybe you have an ultimate goal, like and you're grinding to get to a part where, like, you know, the game is easier, or you were grinding to take out a boss or something like that. To me, this is just a bunch of side quests that give you XP, but it's not grinding because all the content is unique. Whether it's super interesting,
just arrived.
different
I
story.
hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled
But-
across the border.
With any
I wouldn't
luck,
say
they'll
that
be
this is a
joining us in the
grindy
hideaway
game.
Shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris anymore.
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two things in her report. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sandbreak. Went quietly, or so we're told. And she won't be getting
Okay.
off lightly.
Gotcha.
The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market traders either. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry. She'll be all right.
I hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Sid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And you, of course.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest turn off if I have one. A lot of it probably comes back to that, those MMO roots. I mean, I like Final Fantasy XIV, but I approach Final Fantasy XIV as if it's an. This one I didn't want to approach like it's an MMO, but I can't help but see it. It's just there. They automatically brought me back here, by the way. I could have done without that. I guess I have a new missive, so I guess I can read it. We still have side quests up the wazoo. So I guess we'll take a look at the signpost. There it is. Still missing a bunch of those. I doubt we'll get all those. Unless they're all tied to side quests. The courage to fight. Martha. What happened in Eastpool with the Bears and the Guardians has been a long time coming, and I'm proud that it could finally happen here in Rosaria. The Duchy of old may be no more, but Archduke Elwin's dream still burns in the hearts of many, and it is through victories such as these that the fire will spread. This is only the beginning, Clive, but a fine beginning it is. Ooh. It looks like we do have another renown reward, too, so we'll go grab that. Some of those are kind of useful. Yeah, this one feels like I would rather the side content be a cordoned off section. You know,
Covered in
this feels like there's old Final Fantasy games, like the main stories and the main content was always like, well, you know, out.
How may I help
There was
you,
just a lot more of
Sunshine?
that than side content. And this feels like the opposite. There's way more
Your
side quests than main
benefactors are a
stories.
generous lot.
I don't think I'm out of line saying that. I guess I don't know for sure if that's true, but it feels that way anyway. Bidding performance. Natalie reports an unexpected surplus in Dalameel's stores, and that means, and as a means of showing the town's gratitude for past assistance, has expressed her distinct wish that one Lord Underhill partake of the good fortune. Clutch mine. Why right? 2,500 ability points. That's no joke. Magic Ash. See, these renown rewards are pretty sweet. I
yours.
like these. These. Some of them. Not all of them have been great, but. Let's go to the ability screen. Go ahead and. So, Diamond Dust. I'm gonna get this one. I get Diamond Dust and put it in place of Mesmerize. This one do. A colossal ice crystal that deals continuous damage to all enemies that become trapped inside it. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice too. Maybe we'll mess around with both these. Prime Diamond Dust. Don't need to go to the Orchestrion. Hawk's Cry Cliff. No, I've tried some of the abilities, but I haven't actually tried the dash yet. No. And I think it's gonna be hard for me to like keep that in mind because I already use R1 to kind of dodge and dash around, and I have the benefit with the Berserker Ring of doing so. So I don't know if I'll try it here in the next combat encounter that I have. Oh, look, it's here. Yeah, I don't know if I would use it. I mean, it's there, so I guess if I want to use it, I can. I mean, that's pretty sweet. It holds them in place. I could mess around with that one. I think this might be the Shiva setup that I want. If I tried it as a perfect dodge though? No. Does it do something? I feel like introducing a second dodge
The whole village is turned.
is
I
not
can walk from here.
the play. That's not something I'm gonna do. I'll try it here. Let's see what happens. Okay, I tried. Hold on. Attack me. It didn't work. I mean, that felt pretty close to perfect. Alright, my goal isn't to clean out the town, it looks like, so. I don't know, maybe I left too early when I did it. Ew. Gotta go up and around. Gonna be upgraded? No. I don't think so. No, it's just the 3 abilities and then Diamond Dust can be upgraded. I don't unless you do it with an accessory, maybe. It probably could be upgraded with an accessory, which I would absolutely 100% not use that. Yeah, because otherwise there doesn't seem to be any benefit to it. close. Okay, good. Shoo. He almost blew up. Thank you. Good sneaks. Alright, what are we doing here? Oh, we're looking for the other thing. Okay.
No holding back.
Ouch, ouch. I've had trouble with these guys in the past. These things are tricky. Let's see what Diamond Dust looks like. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Knock him backwards. Ouch. Oh my god, it doesn't care about the range. It just puts it where it wants. Oh my god, knock it backwards. For Christ's sakes. Oh no! Won't spoil it for you then. I saw someone else with a Shiva build and they had some sick combos. They had an ice move similar to that dodge you do. Fire with the slow-mo. Does that Phoenix dodge only activate on bosses? No. Oh, wait. Hold on. Phoenix dodge. No. Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't... So I'm not using the Phoenix dodge. So, I think I... Okay, I know what you're saying. So, do you mean this? Oh, I don't have it equipped. It's like the Phoenix, like, teleport thing? So I don't use that either. All I'm using is my R1, which is just kind of a dash slash dodge. And then I have the Berserker Ring, which triggers in that special animation that you see. But that's not actually Phoenix, the Phoenix ability that I'm using. I think if I'm reading you right. Got 3 more side quests too. Prime Italy. Go to Backled. So when I hit R1, it does the special animation, but only because I have the Berserker Ring. I have this ring, which is what Dragon told me to put on. And I was like, no, I don't think that's really gonna be worth it. And then I'm like, oh, actually, it's pretty sweet. So temporarily increases attack proficiency with each precision dodge. So this is what I have equipped that gives me that little animation. Otherwise, it's just it's a less cool animation, I guess.
What are you looking for?
I want 2 potions.
A fine choice.
Thank you. Where? This way. This way? This way. Which way? This way. This way.
What's happened?
Proceed, good sir. All right. Glad we got to the bottom of it. I once you had mentioned the Phoenix dodge, though, I understood. Like, I was like, oh.
Clive, You'll be
I
pleased
see
to
what
know that
he's
the negotiations are
comparing it
progressing
to.
well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
I could, absolutely.
What is it this time?
Love favors.
More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Mark, thank you for the lurk. Good luck with lunchtime? You eat a late lunch. Yeah.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but
No buts about it, all right?
Ifs,
Something
ands,
wrong.
or buts, these kids got
Ronnie
guts.
came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
I thought the cloud had gone over again, and it was just like knocking down the brightness.
But I
And it
thought we were the
faded
only
out
ones
of
the Fist
existence.
was speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates.
I didn't
I'll
offer
send
anything.
an owl ahead and request
No.
a meeting.
That's not what I was saying.
You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it?
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar then.
Yeah. When I'm good and ready. Oh my god. We've kind of got a lot of stuff going on here.
Better not keep Eloise waiting. What's happened?
I will hop on my chocobo and walk straight south
Looks like this is the end of the road.
and take care of whatever Okay, yeah. So we are going to Randala for the Eloise quest. Suppose I can detour and grab these items. Lord knows I need more desert roses. Kind of looks like a hunt up there. What are you? I didn't see any new hunts on the hunt board. No, that's not a hunt. We fought one of them before.
Straight home now.
Sorry, my brakes are a little rusty. There we go.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
Who is
I
it?
wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture of the
Moonbeam.
continent is quite
Hello.
different from ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings.
Thank you.
But as long as they pay.
Yeah, I came
That
back
does sound
about 3
unusual.
weeks ago.
No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
Is it temporary? No. I am back on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and maybe some other days as well, but
Save them.
So am I.
for typically
I
3 or
only
4
have
hours
myself to
a
blame.
day.
He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more, and he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
It's good to be back.
So you
I've-
never...
I'm glad to be
I
here.
entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I'm still doing the YouTube thing though because I'm all of my VODs are ending up on YouTube,
The bearers
and
are
they're
to
being
be well
split into
treated,
kind of Let's Play
which is something,
type things.
at
So
least.
the entirety of Final Fantasy
They deserve
XVI is up
more.
on
I wanted so
YouTube
badly
to this
see them
point.
freed.
So I'm just gonna utilize both platforms better.
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack.
It was
pack of
good,
beasts
a
have
good
come down
learning
from the mountains,
experience.
And there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo,
I'll go on ahead.
thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just make sure he's safe.
Think he survives? Been a bit MIA due to personal stuff, so this is the first time I saw you pop up.
Hold on, Theo.
Well, I hope whatever you're dealing with personally is not, not awful. Hopefully, it's just one of those things. Where are you? That's. I don't know where it is. There. It's here. No. Yes. No? Maybe. We're gonna just fast travel here. But glad you could, pop in and say hi. And yeah, whatever you're going through, hopefully it's not too. There's nothing too serious.
Ready, go?
Ba-da-ba-ba-boo.
All right.
That's way down there. How do I get down there? Shit. A moonbeam. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Oh, shnikes. I gotta go this way. I remember where Cash Lock is now. Right. Yep, I had to go through this door. And then, we had to clear this place out. Jump from here! Oh my god, I can.
That'll do, girl.
I honestly didn't think it would let me. Moonbeam, have you been playing any Final Fantasy XVI? What have you been getting up to gaming wise? Is he a dragon?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver! He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded.
It's on Final
with
Fantasy
aether.
VII. Oh, okay.
Just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
Almost halfway.
Torgal, with me.
You are on my favorite, though, I will say that. Just got through the heart-wrenching end to my favorite character in part 1. Ooh. Pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Kate Sith. Because I love renaming my renaming my characters. I named her Kirsty after Kirstie Alley. Are you a big Kirstie Alley fan? Rest in peace.
Where are you, Theo?
Well, I've never been over here before. I'm always happy when a side quest can take me to a place I otherwise probably wouldn't have gone. She passed the day Ares was introduced. You like when you played when you started the game on your playthrough. I was like, she died way after 1997. I see. Okay, gotcha. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. Kashik and everything. This is not looking good for our boy Theodore here.
Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned.
That should get all of them. Let's go.
I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
Uh-oh, a dragon. Oh,
Looks
like
it
a
found
big dragon.
me. This thing's turned as well.
What's his name? Heron sausage? Heron's shug. Heron suger. Heron suge.
Let's try.
I can't see. Where are you? There you are. Why? Over there. I don't know if I like this Shiva ability. It worked really good the first time. And since then, I'm like, wait, it's not a mind of its own. There we go. Okay, we got it. I wonder what kind of stagger damage it does. Oh, you jerk. Ooh, iconic vulnerability. Oops. No. Okay. It worked out okay. There we go. Okay. Let's go crazy. I should have led with that. Because this thing's going to move around and I'm not going to probably have another chance at it. So far, so good. Ah. Oh god.
Let's try.
We dodged it that time. Oh, bother. Oh, not what I wanted it to do. That's okay. Oh, I guess I got the stagger. I did screw up that stagger pretty bad. Relentless, this guy. Maybe? Alright, alright, alright. I mean, I guess that's for the fight. That's not for the side quest. I don't know. Stuff.
Theodore, you had me worried for...
Uh-oh. Goshik. Oh no.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore.
It just dawned on me, as many times as I've compared this to Game of Thrones. The Akashic are essentially White Walkers, aren't they?
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you.
And lose both of them? These are some of my best quest givers. Game of Chaos. Welcome back.
Theodore. Take care.
My ice brand looks kind of dainty.
My sister. Theodore. Wait. Goodbye. Elle.
Shiva Dash's Cold Snap? I'll check what it's called. See, that's a side quest that had, you know, some stakes to it. That was a good... That's probably, to me, the side quest that probably will stand out the most. You can't... I know you can't do it all the time. You have your good ones, and you have the ones that are fodder. That was a good one. It's not all... I don't dislike all the side quests. Let's make that clear. Sometime later.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own.
so that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables.
Okay.
Before they could. I took him into mine.
That answers some of my questions about the bears.
Theo told me
That's
something
I needed
else.
to hear that. Got
He
it.
clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat.
It is, Mark. I can barely hear it.
Never a burden.
I don't even think I have it turned
How
down.
could
It's just
he
very
even
faint.
think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
He turned to ash, so he's probably all over that valley.
To continue helping you however I can.
That's what she meant, right?
Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
I've probably got some on me, actually. I don't remember which way the wind was blowing. just answered a question. Crimson Caravan signboard. It all comes out. Okay. Moving on, we'll do even weirder science. Did you guys see that big White Sox Guardians throwdown? Can I check Cold Snap now? Yes. It is called Cold Snap. And I'm going to sit back down. My timer just went off. I also set it 10 minutes late, so... Oh, please. Whee! And it can't be upgraded? I don't think so. I don't think that those iconic abilities can be upgraded. I just think... Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. It can be upgraded, Bark. Duh. I don't know why you didn't think it could be. Blind just been using that. I bet this one goes faster. Oh, I mastered that already. So if I were to upgrade this, it would increase the permafrost duration. Oh, okay, hold on. Enemy stuck with frostbite will become temporarily frozen. Precision dodging an enemy attack with cold snap. Really? I thought I did that. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm going to though. I really don't think I'm going. I'm so late in the game that me trying to develop a second dodge for one that I've absolutely ridden into the ground. I don't know if I don't know if I'll do it. You can freeze like the whole combat area. Well, okay, so this goes back to one of my beefs with the game. That sounds good. That sounds like something I might want to do. But it's going to cost 3,000 ability points. There's... What is there? 24 abilities now? 25 abilities that I have? Everyone has 5? Where am I? Oh, there's more than that. Well, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4... So 5, 10... 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 abilities. I can only use 6 at a time. That's not true. If we're gonna let's count the iconic abilities. So let's say I can use 9 at a time, and that's including the iconic abilities that I can't change out. I can only they're tied specifically to the icon that you're using. So we'll go back and we'll say there's 30 abilities that we can switch in and out. I just there's not enough attribute points to go around. I didn't even touched my limit break. I didn't even notice this one was in here. I didn't even notice it. I don't use it. I forget about it all the time. But I feel like I got the ones that I'll try new stuff. I actually kind of like some of the Shiva stuff that I've used so far. Diamond Dust and oh man, Woken Hunter. Oh jeez. That sounds like a far right leaning thing I don't want to talk about. Anyways, what was it talking about? That really threw me off my game. But yeah, there's a lot of abilities, and you can only use a handful at a time. I miss the days where like you just we'll never get it back, and I know it's impossible to actually do. But I miss the days of just having a menu to, you know, do I want to use fire? Do I want to use Fyra? Do I want to use Fyraga? Just have all that stuff available to me. I'm being difficult now, I understand, but... Okay. We got our last, thingy. No, we don't. Now we do.
That's all of them. Owen can uncross his toes now.
That's done. Got... Let's just get them all out of the way. Let's teleport here. That's a shop. I just want to use the app. Feels a bit restricted compared to having access to the moves depending on if you have enough MP. Yeah, right. And that's I don't. It to me. To me, it constricts that ability. Are you inside there? Yeah. It constricts the ability and the willingness to experiment, to try new things. You know, if I were in a fight and I had a spell that I didn't know how to use or I didn't know how it works, or I wasn't sure how effective it would be, back in the day, I could just try it, see what happens. Waste some MP, no big deal. Here, I would have to equip it. I would have to make sure like it's in a spot that I remember, and you know, I had to go into a menu, and then I have to switch it back out afterwards if I don't like it, or if I do like it, then I have to keep track of what I like, what I don't like, what goes together, what doesn't.
Lord Rosfield,
It's just
is there aught the Undying might assist you?
it's not how I like. Some people might like. Some people might love that.
said that your order was helping him with his
I don't
quest
love
to
that.
uncover Ultima's origins.
Me personally,
Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and
Still fun.
less, I regret to report.
love the combat.
I see.
Can't have it both
Be
ways.
assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship.
Yeah, he feels like a bad
I
guy.
was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
I get a little what's the man with no name? You know, I'm just not gonna say it because it's another Game of Thrones reference, and I've really got to stop just calling out every Game of Thrones reference I see. It's not a good look. Let's go grab this other quest, and then we'll move forward with the ones that we've already started. Joffrey? No, not Joffrey. The flame, the guy, the one that Arya finds, who worships the flame god. Jack's trying to play Cuphead. Good luck.
Stop it, Renz. It's dangerous.
Good luck, dude. That game's hard.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought it.
I don't think he has a name.
Since we brought
Guy who
everyone
changes
together,
faces.
all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord?
A man has no name.
Yubor's going
That
to
guy,
be one
yeah.
too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces,
I respect the school. I don't respect the
maybe a
intention
rather
behind it.
worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
Oh, you've only seen one episode of Game of
I'm
Thrones?
afraid the
Really?
example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and
I really like that
presenting a
show.
united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach.
It's basically
They
this
have
game.
formed what one could call a league of outlaws. And they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time. No matter how many of them there are.
Noted.
What will you, War?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face.
Tell him he can go mow the
The
lawn.
longer we avoid facing this one,
I don't have to
the
do
more
it tomorrow.
difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud. By finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring
Yes.
that they never do.
Pretty much spot on.
Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
Although we don't know how I don't know how this game ends. Oh yeah, it's dry enough. Yeah, if we can go outside. How could I refuse?
How could I refuse? Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you. I'll go and speak with him.
Okay.
What's the difference
not far.
between a